Thank you so much, Maria. It's very kind of you to give me that introduction, and thank you everybody for holding on for my session today. It's very kind of you. So as Maria mentioned, my name is Cawley, and I've been involved in online assessments and learning for many years. Just to give you a little bit of introduction about Cambridge Assessment English, for those of you who perhaps don't know us. We are a department of the University of Cambridge, and we've been in business for more than 160 years. We have the largest research department of any exam board in the world, and we reach more than 4 million learners each year. And today I really wanted to focus on many of the free online resources that we have available for teachers and learners that perhaps you might not be aware of, as well as telling you a little bit more about LinguaSkill, the test that you can see on my screen in the background, which is a great online assessment which has been used widely during the current pandemic that we all find ourselves in. So I thought I'd start at the beginning with placing students and finding out what their level is. And I wanted to make you aware of something that's available free on our website for you to use. It's called Test Your English. It's a short placement test. And as you can see, we've got different versions of it. We've got a placement test for general English for adults, for schools, and for business English as well. And I should mention that all the resources that I'm going to talk about today, you can find them on our website, and you can see at the bottom of my screen here, www.cambridgeenglish.org. So do please have an explore of our website, because there's lots of good stuff there. So Test Your English, it's free of charge, very simple to use. There are 25 questions. It's a linear test. I'm going to tell you more about some of our online adaptive tests. And it tests use of English, grammar and vocabulary. And the results, as you can see on the right-hand side of my screen here, you get a CFR level, and it also tells you which of our exams you're ready to start preparing for. You can also integrate this tool into your own websites, and if that's something that you're interested in doing, I'd be very happy to give you more information. It's a really great way of drawing students to your website if you're interested in driving traffic. Lots of people are interested in finding out what their level of English is. However, if you're looking for something which is a little bit more detailed and accurate, we do have the Cambridge English placement test. This is a paid-for product. It's not free, but I thought I'd just introduce it to you because it's our cheapest and easiest test to use. It doesn't require any proctoring or invigilation, but you can access it 24 hours a day, 24/7. You can deliver it whenever you like to your students. And what's great about this test is that it uses, it's an adaptive test, which means that we use a powerful algorithm, which we've developed over many years, more than 12 years. And this means that we're able to pinpoint the language ability of students. So students of all levels of ability can take this test. Everybody starts with a test of the same level of difficulty, around A2. And then depending on their answers, if they get that question right, the next question is more difficult. If they get that question right, the next question is more difficult again. If they get the next one wrong, it gets easier. And the system goes through this process until it's found the student's level. This means that each test is absolutely unique to the students. No two students would ever see the same questions in the same order. And it creates a really nice and motivating experience for the students, because they're always going to see questions which are at or around their level of ability. So,
sorry to interrupt you, Ian. It seems like you've been muted accidentally.
oh, okay, great, thanks. Thanks for that. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about some of the placement products we have, free and for paid for. Let's go on to look at some of the more of our resources which are available for you for free. If I can make the slides move. Okay, so I'm sure many of you are may have seen this chart before. I just wanted to show it to you because it shows the range of exams that we've got and the different levels of them. And, you know, I previously showed you one of our placement tests, and it's probably a good idea for me to explain a little bit about our exams. So you can see that we've got the CFR here. Cambridge Assessment English was one of the founding members of ELTE, the Association of Language Testers in Europe, and we helped design the CFR. And we've also introduced the Cambridge English scale that you can see next to it. And this allows us to break each of those CFR levels down into 20 points, which means that we're able to pinpoint exactly where a student's level of English is within the CFR. As I'm sure you're aware, there's quite a difference between each of those CFR levels. They're very broad. And so it's a good idea if we can find out where students are. So we've got qualifications for school-age students, general English for adults, the business qualifications, which I look after, and also LinguaSkill and IELTS. I know that you will all know IELTS very well. LinguaSkill I'm going to talk about a little bit later, but it's another example of a multi-level test. So we've got lots of free learning. Lots of free learning activities on our website, and you can see that we've got a nice search engine here. So you can look for which language skill you want to get the activities for: grammar, listening, pronunciation, speaking, vocabulary, reading and writing. And then you can choose the level: basic, so A1, A2, intermediate, B1, B2, or proficient, C1 or C2. And then the timing of the activities, and then the search engine will bring up all the activities that we've got available. So you can see here that we've got activities at A1, A2, B1, B2 here. These are all new ones that have just been added. They're useful both for students and for teachers. Teachers can use these in their classes, or you can set them for homework. And they're a great way to improve your English. So all free of charge, and please do have a look at the website to find out some of those activities in more detail. We've also got some apps which are available free of charge that you might be interested in. So the first one is called Exam Lift, and at the moment we've got two versions available, one at A2 level and one at B1 level, and these have been designed specifically for students at school. So using our for schools exams, which are for students ranging from the age of about 9 up to 15, and it's a great tool. It gives them practice in reading, writing, listening and speaking. It's interactive, it's fun, there's lots of games on there, and it's been, as I said, it's been prepared specifically for younger learners. So it's great for all your school-aged kids. We've also got another one, another app, a really fun one called Quiz Your English, and this is also available to you free of charge. So it's a great way for you to practice and improve your English, and with this one you actually compete against other learners all around the world. So you log on to the app, and you set up a username, and then you'll be faced against other students who could be in any part of the world, and there's lots of vocabulary and grammar questions, and you work against each other to see who can answer the questions first. And then at the end of the activity you get a score and you get points based on what you've done. So it's a nice gamification, if you like, of English practice that you can use. Lots of fun. I would suggest that is useful for teenage learners, so anyone from sort of 13 upwards to adults. It's completely safe for students to use, and as I mentioned, it's a lot of fun, and you can download both of these apps on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store as well. So we've also got lots of social media that's available for you to access, again free of charge. So we have a Cambridge English Global Facebook page, And so there's a Facebook community on there that you can share ideas with. There are lots of quizzes on there as well for you to try and practice your English. And you can also talk to other language learners and teachers as well who've joined the Facebook page. We've also got our own YouTube channel, the Cambridge English YouTube channel. There's quite a lot of stuff on there actually. There are videos where you can get hints and tips about learning English as well as preparing for our exams. There's lots of videos about our speaking tests, for example, which you may well know about. I've put lots of videos on there with hints and tips about how to prepare for exams and how to improve your English. So lots of stuff on there for you to have a look at as well. We also have an Instagram page where you can talk to other learners and get inspired by stories of other people and their experiences of learning and teaching English. And of course, we also have a Twitter page as well. So lots of social media that you can interact with, and students can improve their communicative skills, getting to speak to other people. The more, of course, we can talk to people from around the world, it's only a good thing for us all, I believe. So something else which is brand new is called the Cambridge English Community for Teachers. You can see that there's a link at the bottom of the page there if you're interested in joining this. And this is a really an opportunity for teachers around the world to share their experiences of best practice with other teachers. And we also use it in Cambridge to get feedback from you on ideas that we have around developing our products and services, finding out what more things you need that we can help you with. And we hope that we can use all that data that you provide with us to make a real impact on improving the products and services we offer, in creating more free materials for learners and for teachers as well. So if you do have the opportunity, we'd be very grateful, and we welcome you to join the community, to share your ideas, and also to give your ideas on some ideas that we have. It would be great if you could join us. Okay. So the other thing that I wanted to mention was the free lesson plans that we have available for teachers. So we have a search engine that you can see here on the right-hand side of my screen, and you can choose the Cambridge exams that you would like to get lesson plans for. So unlike the other activities, these are specifically related to our exams. You can choose the level, the types of resources you want, whether it's for reading, writing, listening, speaking, grammar or vocabulary. And then the lesson plans appear, as you can see on the bottom of my screen here. They're all PDFs that you can download, and there are also additional audio content as well that you can download as well. And what I would say is that even though these are related to the Cambridge exams, as I'm sure you're aware, our exams are very communicative. We use a communicative approach in the development of our assessments. And so in preparing for our exams, and you will also, students will also improve their communicative language skills as well. So even if they aren't studying for a Cambridge exam, they can benefit a lot from these lesson plans, and they are very helpful for teachers. Each of the lessons is around 40 minutes long. So you'll see that I've branded quite a lot of my slides with LinguaSkill, and I just wanted to introduce LinguaSkill to those of you who perhaps are not aware of it and what it is. So I talked before about the Cambridge English Placement Test, and LinguaSkill is a more advanced and detailed qualification than the placement test, but it's also available online on demand, which means that you can use it whenever and wherever you like. It's also a multi-level test, and I'll just explain a little bit more about that again. It uses adaptive testing technology, which means that we're able to use one test and one item bank to create unique test experiences for our students. The results are really quick. The reading and listening module, for example, you get your results instantly. The speaking and writing modules, if you take them in combined form, you can get results within 48 hours. And we've got some great reporting that I'm going to show you in a few minutes. The reason I'm focusing on this test is because this is the one test that has proved very useful for anybody who wants to assess their students' language ability during the pandemic, because it's online, and also we use remote proctoring with this test, which means that students can take this test at home. The test is used widely in the higher education sector around the world, and it's also used by corporate clients too. So just like the Cambridge English placement test, it uses a powerful algorithm so that we're able to create unique test experiences for each student. You will have heard before that I've been working at Cambridge for 14 years. We developed our first online multi-level test 12 years ago, and we've been continually developing the algorithm since then. We also use AI technology in LinguaSkill, and we are part of a group of departments at the university who are investing heavily in AI technology and looking at various uses for it. We use it with the LinguaSkill writing test, and speaking test, and I'm also going to introduce you to some more free products in a few minutes which also use that AI technology. So you can see with LinguaSkill, students get a test report form, which gives them an average score based on the modules that they've taken. You can see that they get a score on the Cambridge English scale as well as a CFR level. And as I mentioned before, that's really important because it means that we are able to report within a CFR level. So you can see that the example of this student, they are towards the top of B1. They also get an individual score depending on the skills they take, and it's modular test, so they can decide whether they want to do the listening and reading test or also add a speaking and writing component as well. And they also get can-do descriptors here. Can-do descriptors form part of the CFR, and they describe what students are able to do with their language proficiency at whatever level they have it. And so this gives them more information, and also anybody who wants to receive the results, more information about what students are able to do with the language they have at a particular proficiency level. There's also a group report for institutions so that they can check the results of cohorts of students. These reports can be downloaded in Excel form should you wish to do further analysis and work out the mean median scores of your students. And it also allows you to check language ability and progression over a period of time or with different groups of students. There's an online course that goes together with the LinguaSkill test. I mention this because, again, it's a self-access course that students can access at home, or it can be used in class or set as class homework. It's 100% online. It's very interactive. Students will improve their language ability as well as preparing for the LinguaSkill test. And there are modules for the reading and listening, speaking and writing components as well. But we've also got lots and lots of free resources available for students who want to prepare for LinguaSkill. And as I mentioned before, although many of these are exam specific, because of the communicative approach we use in the development of our language assessments, they will also certainly help students to improve their communicative English ability. So please do visit the Cambridge English website and have a look at the LinguaSkill pages. We've got lots of practice tests at different levels. So if students want to have a look and challenge themselves and find out what their level of ability is, those tests are really good fun for them to access. We've also got some video lessons on there, so 20, 30-minute videos explaining different aspects of the exam that students and teachers can listen into and use. We've got emails that you can sign up for, so students can sign up to receive 1, 2, or 3 emails every week that give them top tips about preparing for exams, exam questions, and also fun grammar and vocabulary activities that have been created for you as well, using Quizlet. Those are all free of charge. There's lots of top tips, and there's also examples of writing as well. So if students want to compare their writing ability against model answers and see the examiner's comments and how examiners at Cambridge mark exams, there are also some examples of those as well. So we think we've got over 40 hours of free material on the LinguaSkill pages, which would be very useful for students. And something that I'd like to talk about in a little bit more detail now are, again, two fairly new products called Write and Improve and Speak and Improve. And I mentioned to you earlier that we've invested and are investigating the use of AI technology for learning and assessment. And Write and Improve and Speak and Improve are two products currently available free of charge to you, which use this AI technology to help students to improve their written and spoken communication skills. So just to show you a little bit about how it works, and again, I do urge you to go onto our website and search for Write and Improve and Speak and Improve and have a go at the activities yourself. They're a lot of fun. So you can see that on the left-hand side of my screen here, we've got Write and Improve activities at different levels, so beginner, intermediate, advanced, for business or just for fun. We've also got what we call a test zone, where we've got activities for the IELTS exams and for B2 first as well. And you can create your own workbooks where you can save all the work that you've been doing with Write and Improve, or you can join workbooks together, or if you're doing using Write and Improve with a class, you can also create a class view so that teachers can manage all the students as they're working through it. And we've created activities which replicate the experience of a LinguaSkill writing test. So you can see here, these are the general English tasks. There are many more than this. I've just put a few on the screen. So you can see at the beginner level, you have to write an essay about sleep, or something about write a note to a friend describing your favorite school trip, a thank you note to a friend, or a paragraph about your hometown. And in the intermediate ones here, you can discuss the importance of taking care of your health. There's another one about here, class discussion about healthy living, writing an article. A local magazine would like to publish an article about the advantages and disadvantages of where you live, or a report. So lots of real world activities that will help students not only in preparing for exams, but also improving their communicative writing skills. So once the students have chosen which of these activities they would like to do, they get the opportunity to write their answer. So you can see here, it says, read and answer the question below, write at least 2 paragraphs. Some people sleep in a dark and quiet room. Other people sleep with a small light on and don't mind noise. How do you sleep? Explain your answer. So this is just something that I filled in myself a few days ago. It tells me how many words I've written and how many words I should write for this task. And then within a couple of minutes of actually saving this, I get some feedback. And you can see the type of feedback that you can get on the right-hand side of the screen. So, for example, it tells me about my my sentence structure, the vocabulary that I've used, grammar, punctuation, and how well that I've completed the task. And it does this, using the AI engine that I described earlier. Once you've had that feedback and you get the opportunity to review it, you then write the answer again, hopefully taking into consideration the things that you've learned. And then again, you save the answer and you get feedback from the AI engine. And also in the progress section at the bottom of the screen there, you'll get some feedback showing the progress that you've made based on the last writing task that you did. And you can go through this process as many times as you like. And as the name suggests, you get the opportunity to write, receive the feedback, and improve. And it's a great tool, free of charge, wonderful communicative practice for students, and also lots of activities at different levels for students of all levels of ability. And we do use this data. So we use this data to feed into the AI machine that we have. It's constantly learning, it's constantly improving. And so we use all this data, and also all the data from the millions of exams that are taken at Cambridge every year to keep feeding the engine and to improve it as time goes on. So I also mentioned that we have a speak and improve version. This is still a research project at the moment, but it's still great practice for any students who want to have a go at improving their English and have the opportunity to speak as I am today using a headset and a microphone. This is similar to the LinguaSkills speaking test experience as well. So there's a little bot that you can see at the bottom of the screen that helps you. There's lots of different exercises. You get the opportunity to answer questions that the bot gives you, to read and repeat sentences that you see on the screen. There are activities that you have to prepare for, monologues that you need to deliver. And the idea is that all this information is recorded and saved, and then you get some feedback based on what you've done. So you can see here that I was lucky enough to get a C1 level in English, and it gives me some feedback about my my performance. The more questions you do, the more feedback you get, and you will get some feedback on things like your pronunciation, use of vocabulary, fluency, etc. So that was it in terms of what I would like to introduce you to today. I hope you found it useful, and I would be very happy to take any questions you might have about any of the resources that I've shown you, or any questions about our exams. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Ian. It was very informative for us. We have a couple of questions in the chat box. I will read them out for you, and then we can request the attendees to open their mics and ask you directly if they wish. They would like the links that you've been mentioning throughout your presentation in the chat box.
Sure. Yeah, so the best thing to do is to go to, if I go back to the beginning of my slides here, start your journey here at www.cambridgeenglish.org. In fact, if we've got a moment, I might be able to access. Well, I can't access the website for you now, but go to the website, and it's very easy to locate all of these materials. We've got different sections for learners, for teachers, for the exams. So do have an explore of the website. That there's a lot of stuff there.
Thank you. And we have another question for you. Except the activities you mentioned, do you have any advice for the students to improve their language?
Well, there are lots and lots. There's lots and lots of top tips and advice on the website for students, not only for preparing for the exams, but also for preparing for improving their English. I think the advice that I always give to students is that you know, we live in a world where it's really easy to connect with each other these days. It's quite easy to talk to each other, you know, using social media and other forms. I think the more opportunity they have to speak to other learners around the world, and to really the better, and also to feel really confident about the language that they've got. People always feel very concerned and worried about using the English that they have. But I always say to people, no one is ever going to laugh at you or find it funny if you make mistakes. People are generally very receptive and you know, feel that people are very brave in using the language they have. So they should try and use the language that they have as much as possible. Also, it's very easy to get access to lots of media these days. You know, I always say to students, if you get the opportunity to watch films or documentaries with the English subtitles on, That's really helpful as well. So if you can't quite understand what people are saying, you can read the subtitles, you can pause videos, and also listening to music as well and having the lyrics for songs as well. I think that's a great way for students to learn. Whatever students find interesting, the more interesting you are in something, the easier it is to learn, because you have that intrinsic motivation. And yeah, so those just some ideas, and try to be a good language learner. Use your language as much as possible. Talk to other people, and make the most of the media that's out there that you can use.
Thank you. And somebody's saying, yes, many students watch YouTube to improve their English language, and they're learning through that.
It's a great way. It's a great way. There's so much on there. And as I said, the Cambridge English YouTube channel is really good. You know, you'll see me and other members of the Cambridge team, you know, talking about, you know, how you can improve your communicative language skills. So yeah, so please do have a look at that.
Ian, we have somebody wants to share the slide with the link about the Recollective for joining the Cambridge Assessment English teacher community.
Yes. Absolutely. Let me just move down. There we go. Next one, I think. Yeah, this one. So I hope you can see that. So so it's cambridgeenglish.recollective.com/Cambridge-English-community-for teachers. So this is brand new, and we really welcome your participation in this community. You know, it's an opportunity for you to talk to each other and to share your great ideas with us. But also, we want to use this, as I mentioned before, in the development of our learning resources, teaching resources, and also our exams. So there'll be lots of questions on there about the use of online resources, how you found them, what works for you in the class, what doesn't. Yeah, it's a great way for us to get feedback, and hopefully a great way for you to become more involved in the development of our products and to share your best practice with us. So please, you're all welcome.
Great, thank you, Ian. What do you think about gaming and learning language? What are your thoughts?
I think it's brilliant. I mean, we've seen the rise of lots of apps such as Duolingo, which is one of the most popular ones. We've also got ones as well. I think I mentioned the maybe on the apps are on the next. Oh, here we go. We've also got some too as well, like Quiz Your English. I think anything that motivates students, that gets them interested, has got to be a good thing. And I think that we all like to play games. I like to play games too on my telephone. And if it's fun and interesting and competitive, I think it's going to help you a great deal. It's going to motivate you. And I think the more of these kind of activities we can have, the better, especially for young learners. I think they're absolutely fantastic.
So what aspect of language do you think improves through gaming? Do you think fluency improves or accuracy improves?
I think it really depends on the activity that you've done. I mean, I know that we've at Cambridge, we've created some activities for young learners. There's one called Ruby Ray, which is a kind of, you have to solve problems around the world. You have to investigate things. So I think it's a variety. You can improve your accuracy, also your general critical thinking skills. I think teamwork skills, if you've got games where you can work with other people, interactive teamworking skills as well. And in some cases, they do have the opportunity to improve your fluency, your communicative fluency. But I think things like writing improve and speaking improve are also really good for doing that. Because you get that feedback, and it's real life communication skills that you get to practice as well. So I think a whole variety, really, Maria.
Yes, definitely. Yes. Do we have any more questions for Ian before we end the session? Can we have materials for teaching mathematics? I'm very interested to learn. Somebody's asking.
Well, I'm not an expert in mathematics. However, you may or may not know that Cambridge Assessment English, that there are actually 3 parts of Cambridge Assessment. We've got us. We deal specifically with English examinations. We've got CIE, Cambridge International, who deal with international GCSEs. So there'll be lots and lots of mathematic resources on the Cambridge International website. I would go there for sure. And also OCR, which offers GCSEs in the UK. They also have a website, and there'll be lots of resources to download. So I would go to the Cambridge International website to start with, have a search on there, lots of things for maths, and then also try the OCR website as well. I'm sure you'll find some resources there too.
Great. Thank you so much, Ian. It was really a pleasure having you after conference. It was very informative. And I think me as an English teacher got to learn, although I knew a lot about English, but still there was a lot to learn still about Cambridge assessment. And it is a great honor to have you at our platform. And we hope to see you in our future events as well, Ian.
An absolute pleasure, Maria. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful to have the opportunity to work with you. You're a very inspiring lady, and I've learned a lot from you too. I really have.
Thank you.
And it's great to have the opportunity to talk to everyone here. You know who I am, so if you have any questions or you'd like me to, give you more information, I'd be more than happy to. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, and thank you.